A husband writes in, "My wife is always nagging me. What should I do?" And my name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. So people do write into our counselors. I'm not one of those, but people ask for help and we give them practical marriage help. And I tend to be a little bit outside of the box. So I'm going to start this video with, I think, is one of the funniest jokes of all time. So a man dies and he goes to heaven and he sees a really long line and a really short line. In fact, there's no one in the short line. In the long line, it says, nagged husbands, henpecked husbands is the way it used to be. Nagged husbands form line here, and the line goes all the way back to the earth. And the other line says, non-nagged husbands form line here. So naturally, the man goes to the shorter line. And someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, what are you doing in this line?" And the man says, "Hey, look, my wife told me to stand in this line, and I'm not moving until she says it's okay." So women do have a reputation for, let's say, managing their husbands. And if you look at this situation with a sense of humor and some tools that I'm going to give you, you're not going to be distressed. This is not going to ruin your marriage. You're going to learn some techniques here, but you're also going to learn to understand this. Now, if you went to a therapist, they would tell you all the things that's wrong with your wife. And they would tell you that she's obsessive-compulsive. They would tell you she's insecure, even clingy if they wanted to act like they could speak on your level. And then they would suggest she goes into therapy and gets some help for this problem. But it's not a problem. We all have our stuff, don't we? Everyone has has the thing. So in this case, that's what she does. And if you stop taking it seriously, if you stop feeling like it's irritating you, then it won't. You cannot control your wife. This is a reality. You couldn't send her to therapy if you wanted to. If you could, it would backfire on you, because then the therapist, through her, would find all the things that are wrong with you. So what's really going on here is that she needs to get out what she wants to get out. And what's really happening, that is the real problem, it's not you that's the real problem, but it's how you're receiving her let's call them communications. It is how she communicates. Now, I've got to ask you, does she have some good qualities? That's rhetorical. Of course she does. She's got some amazing qualities. But when, in your estimation, she starts nagging you, and it probably is, she's probably nagging you, you're not smiling on the inside. It's bugging you. You see, we have complete control over our mind. And what our mind does in order to survive, because we all are driven by the drive to survive, is we have established filters. So our perceptions are filtered. We don't really see things the way they actually are. We see the way things are based on our filters. Do you think God sees her as a nag? Or do you think God has total compassion and understanding towards her? When you married her, you promised to make her your queen. You promised to love her unconditionally. You made these promises. These are very real vows. And as a man, It's built into you to protect her. In some cases, that means protecting her from your own filters, because those are the things you have control over. If you do what maybe a therapist would say, which would be to sit down, use I statements, and explain to her how this impacts you, what you're doing is you're blaming her for your filters. You're putting it on her. Where does that end? It's insane to do that. Most people do. And that's why we have over a 50% divorce rate. It's a useless, non-beneficial thing to do. It undermines her love for you. It undermines your love for her. So you don't want to confront her. I don't care how nicely you couch it. I don't care how well you're able to articulate that she is a nag. It's never going to come out okay. Why? Because her filters are going to say that you are attacking her. Is attacking her an act of love? Is that an act of harmony? No. So what you do is you change the environment that the two of you are in by altering your own filters. How do you do that? Well, in my books and in the Course for Men, I give a very incredible technique for controlling your mind, not just filters, but everything. But in effect, what you are learning to do is, number one, recognize that you are not your mind, that you have a mind that is supposed to be controlled by you. It isn't supposed to control you or your marriage. So get the connection. The filter is the result of your mind. Her nagging is not objective, it's subjective. So it is your filter that you can work on. You have the obligation, it comes along with free will, to control your mind anyway. They don't teach us this stuff, by the way. This is not your fault. We should be learning when we're little kids that we have a mind and it's our obligation to control the mind, period. That's an absolute. You have free will. What does that mean? That means that you have total control over your mind. So you need to control that sucker. Get it under control. When she starts, quote unquote, nagging, you should be smiling. Now, there's a lot of things you can do. You could be looking at her and thinking how beautiful she is. These are workarounds. Until you get your mind totally under control, which is the goal, you have workarounds. So a workaround is to look at her, focus on her beauty. Her voice may be very pleasing to you normally, and you listen to her voice, and you just hear her nagging on the periphery. You don't focus on it. But you also include, you set up the software of your filter to pick up words that might give you a recognition of things that need to be responded to, because you don't want to hurt her feelings. Things that are legitimate, maybe a complaint about your own behavior, so that you can take note of it and work on it. And that's it. You find workarounds. But you listen at the same time. But most importantly, you develop your own filters in a manner that works to enhance the love and happiness of your marriage. This is a learn and apply. This is not something you just hear and go on. You apply this because this is real. And you should subscribe to this channel so that you can learn and apply in so many different ways. But this is a big one, because this is really common, like defined by that joke I told in the beginning. So you can make this happen in such a positive way. Do you remember why you got married? You got married to be happier. And right now, that filter in your mind is undermining your happiness. See it that way, and you can fix everything. See it as she's got a problem and you're screwed. It's that simple. You cannot control other people, but you can control your mind. And with that, I bid you God bless, adieu, take care, blessings to your wife, you, and your family. Thanks.